What's up, everybody? Soren Baker here on Best Albums, and today we're joined by TeeCee4800. Thank you for coming through, sir. And today he has selected 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Tryin, released in 2003. Now this is 50 Cent album that made him explode. So we had known 50 Cent through How to Rob, What Up Gangsta, all these type of songs. So as the momentum was building for Get Rich or Die Tryin, like what were you thinking this album was gonna be?
Well, first of all, I didn't know anything about none of those songs before this album dropped. I think I was in 9th grade or 10th grade. And my next door neighbor was like, oh, this 50 Cent dude. I'm like, 50 Cent, like, and then he told me about him, and I listened to the album. It was incredible. I'm like, this is like the best album. It's like the only album I actually listened to beginning to end.
Really?
Yeah. And well, the first album I listened to beginning to end.
And why was that? What made it that way for you?
I don't know. It was just like I just felt like maybe it was the production or him getting that Ja Rule probably made it a little more interesting, and I just liked it overall.
So then the first big song obviously was the biggest song in the club that they released as a single. So for you, hearing that song at the time, you know, I remember the sense that it was weird that we had Eminem, Dr. Dre, and 50 Cent. And they had this song about being in a club, which really wasn't any of the three of their background, but it worked so well. So what was it about In the Club that you think made it like take off?
Like the production and the lyrics. You feel me? Just right, and then I don't think it probably wasn't no party shit going on like that right in there. So that's probably another reason. Just him being new also. New and good. Everybody wants to hear something new from a new artist. Right. So that made it help.
And what, of course, back then, Eminem was, you know, on top of the world, really, and Dr. Dre was as well.
Co-signers.
So what do you think them putting him out helped with the launch of his project?
A whole lot, because anybody Dre works with is to the top. Right. You know, then you got Eminem, he was right there, so they obviously seen something. And, you know, so just being off that, like, oh, Dre's messing with it, oh yeah, I gotta give it a listen. So it's already a million ears right there off the bat. Right.
And then at the top of the album, he had the What Up Gangsta song, which I remember when I first put the album on and heard it all the way through, I was surprised that they put that as the first track because it's such a riotous song, and then he's naming all the gangs and stuff, even though he's from New York. So like being from out here, what was that like for you, hearing him mentioning all the gangs in a song like that?
I mean, it was cool. I mean, that shit, you know, paying us respect.
He definitely was doing that. Yeah, and then that song too, in general, I thought really set a good tone for the album because it was like very aggressive and very brash, which is what 50 Cent is. So on the beat on that and what he was talking about in the song, does anything like stand out to you that really made that song hit?
Just wankster, like, I mean, just that word, like, right there, you know, like, who was saying that? It's like, what's wankster? And then he just explained it, and it's like, he's talking about Ja Rule.
Right. And the thing that I always thought, too, was kind of funny is that, you know, he came out dissing Ja Rule and made that a big deal, and then 21 Questions was another really big song, which was kind of similar to a lot of what Ja Rule did. So why do you think 50 was able to get away with making a song like 21 Questions?
Because I don't think the beef necessarily had to do with Ja Rule singing. Okay. But he would mention that just on some clowning shit, like, shut up, you feel me? But, you know, deep down he probably does it too, but so what?
Oh, he did?
Yeah. So, you know, like, I didn't have no problem with it, you know, it worked at the end of the day.
And I thought it was clever too to have a song about questions and then be asking a girl that many questions. So for you as later as an artist and like as a writer, like, did that mean something special or something different to you? Like how he played that song?
No, it was just a good song. I didn't get too deep into it like that. Okay. It was just a good song. I liked it. And it's crazy him and Making Good was actually going together around that time, so that was crazy, but yeah, it was good.
Shout out to the video.
Yeah.
Okay. And then another record that I liked that was more of an album cut was the Patiently Waiting. Because I like speaking of production, like that production I thought was incredible. So with Patiently Waiting, what appealed to you about that track?
Just the slow flows, like, I'll break your face, your ass bumping, running. You feel me? Like, just he was just gassing, you feel me? He was just like, you know, I don't know, he was just, I don't know. That album was probably, I think, yes, till to this day, this is the best album for sure. You know?
Okay. He also had the High All the Time song, which I thought for like gangster type of stuff, that had kind of, you know, been moving in more as rap had kind of blown up with the Chronic and stuff. So what do you think it is about like gangster records to where doing something like Getting High or Smoking or whatever became kind of popular in the mix of gangsterism?
It's popular enough for where people rap about it and they don't even do it. Like, you know, I've been around 50 Cent. I don't think I ever seen him smoke. I think I actually heard him say, I don't smoke, but it's that pop, you know. I guess people feel like they gotta just do what other people like, you know. Everybody else is smoking, so let's make a smoking song, you know, but.
Yeah,
So
and then he
regular.
had, okay, and then of course he had the P.I.M.P, which was a big single, and he also had the remix with Snoop on it as well. So with that, you know, the Bishop was in the video for that, of course, and they made that into a big production. So with Gangsterism 2, obviously back in the day with Too Short and Drew Down and everybody, and Do or Die, of course, so a lot of people had always talked about pimping in music, and 50 Cent made it into a video and made it into like a big deal. So do you remember anything standing out that you thought was interesting or distinctive about him doing a single about pimping?
The hook was crazy. And that's crazy. The one with Snoop Dogg was so good. I thought that was the original version.
Right.
So that's what I remember in the video, just having Snoop and Don Juan, like you said. You feel me? Just pimp. So I mean, yeah, it was hard. I mean, I don't think people took it as like he was really pimping. You know, just playing these hoes.
Yeah. And then obviously with the album cover, it was about him, you know, playing off the fact of getting shot. And then he had the Many Men song, of course.
That's my favorite song.
So with the Many Men and his whole thing about getting shot and his whole persona being this like super authentic street dude, how do you think that played into the reception of the album?
A whole lot. He was just selling it, you feel me? He just selling what he been through, basically, you know? Just like, this is what I've been through. I got shot, you know? And then he meant, like, you know, wish death on me, you know, blood in my eyes, man, I can't see. And it's like, you know, it's like Tupac, you know? Tupac, you know, when he got shot, you know, he just went all out, you know? It's like, you really supposed to, you know, praise the shooter. But you know, you can't snitch on yourself. So you know, everybody, respect the shooter. But you know, he got shot though, and he survived. So he's a warrior. So he just pushed it. You know, push with it.
Cool. So now looking back, what do you think makes 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Tryin' the best album?
I feel like it's one of my best albums because I feel like he had like 7 singles. I feel like if an album has 7 singles or 6 singles, then it's like it should be top 10 already because, you know, everybody dropping albums just like 1 single, 2 singles. It's like a Michael Jackson, he had like 10 singles. He done it was up there with that. He had it was a grip of singles. So that's one main reason why I feel like it's the best album.
Well, there it is, y'all. All right, man. TeeCee4800. I'm Soren Baker on Best Albums 50 Cent. Get Rich or Die Tryin'.